T was supposed to be a simple flight from New York to Los Angeles. But for one black farm girl, this journey would turn into something much more than she expected. When a white passenger next to her began complaining that she didn't belong in first class, no one could have predicted what would unfold in the next 5 minutes. In just 5 minutes, everything would change. But how would this woman, so confident in her assumptions, feel when she realized she was wrong? Watch until the end to find out. Wait a second, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Jamala had always dreamed of flying in first class. She had worked hard, gotten good grades, and after years of saving, finally managed to secure a seat in the front cabin. It was a small victory, a testament to her determination. As she settled into her spacious seat, she felt the subtle glances from the flight attendants, but she brushed them off. She was just a teenager, a regular girl in a fancy seat, trying to enjoy a rare luxury. But as the plane took off and she tried to relax, something didn't feel quite right. A woman sitting beside her was looking at her strangely. Jamala shifted uncomfortably but ignored her, trying to get comfortable. Then, the woman kept glancing at her, muttering under her breath. At first, Jamala didn't think much of it, but the way the woman kept staring began to feel like something was wrong. At first, the murmurs were faint, just enough for Jamala to catch a few words, but not enough to make sense of them. She tried to focus on her music, putting on her headphones, but the uncomfortable feeling persisted. The woman's eyes were constantly on her, and there was something about the way she looked. Judgmental? Suspicious? Jamala shifted in her seat, trying to tune her out. Then, without warning, the woman stood up. Her voice was now loud and clear, cutting through the hum of the plane. "Excuse me, sir," she called to the flight attendant. "I don't think this young girl belongs in first class. I've never seen her here before. She must have snuck in." Jamala's heart skipped a beat. The flight attendant looked at Jamala, then at the woman, and her stomach tightened. This wasn't happening. The woman continued, speaking loudly now, drawing even more attention. "Are you really going to let her sit here? I don't feel safe. She doesn't belong in this section." Jamala's face turned hot with embarrassment and anger. She hadn't done anything wrong. She had earned this seat. Yet, this woman was treating her like she didn't belong. She could feel the eyes of everyone around them all turning toward her, whispering. She didn't know what to do. Should she stay quiet or stand up for herself? But deep down, she knew this wasn't just about her. This was a bigger issue. The tension in the cabin was unbearable. The flight attendant had tried to reassure Jamala, but the woman insisted, now demanding that the police be called. "If you're not going to do something about this, I will." "This is unacceptable!" Jamala felt her heart pounding in her chest as the flight attendant spoke into the intercom. The seconds felt like minutes. When the plane finally landed, the police were waiting at the gate. Jamala stood up, her legs trembling. As she walked towards the entrance, she saw the woman, who now seemed to shrink under the weight of her actions. Her face was flushed, her posture stiff, as if trying to avoid making eye contact. Jamala could see the faint trace of regret in her eyes, but no apology. The damage had already been done. The woman's self-righteousness had faded into guilt, but Jamala wasn't sure it would be enough. As Jamala stepped into the terminal, her chest felt heavy with a mix of frustration and disbelief. The humiliation, the injustice, it would stay with her. But so would the strength it took to stand up in that moment. She hadn't done anything wrong, yet she was the one made to feel like an intruder. The police had escorted her off the plane, but they had also confirmed she had every right to be there. The woman may have stood there, regretful, but Jamala had walked away with her dignity intact. This was her victory. Her story wasn't just hers. It was a reflection of the millions of others who face discrimination every day. The question was, how many more times would this continue before the world truly understood? Share your thoughts. Where are you watching from? And how would you react in Naomi's shoes? Take care.